All right. Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome to Lesson in Everyday Platform. Listen, before I get started with this episode, this podcast, I wanted to let you know I am wearing Lulu's Fit and it's in yellow. Hey, hey. And I brought on for my nephew to say hello. Say, hey, Mason. You got to tell everybody, hey, here. You going to say hey to everybody?
Hey, buddy.
You got to wave at them and say, hey, everybody.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
Say what's that? I sing.
We're going to start this episode in just a moment, but stay tuned, okay? Welcome again to Lesson in Everyday Platform. It is your host, none other than LA. Listen, I wanted to share something that came to me while I was working out today at Lulu's Fitness. I was on a treadmill and I started thinking to myself, I'm watching the time on a treadmill. The personal trainer, Lulu, gave me a time frame of how long she wanted me to run. And so as I was running, and I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this, as I was running, I was looking at the time. I was looking down at the time and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep on running. And I thought to myself, I said, okay, the time is still ticking. The clock is still going. And no matter how fast I run, the time is still gonna go at its pace. Even if I pick up the pace and maybe I'm getting more steps in, maybe I'm getting closer to reaching my mile or mile and a half, whatever the distance, right? No matter my pace, the time is still going to tick and keep going at its pace. Where am I going with this? So the lesson today from Lesson in Everyday LA is no matter the pace you choose to continue to run and go, God's timing is still going to be God's timing. Okay? God's timing is still going to be his time. So when it's time for you to reach your destination, when it's time to reach your destiny, when it's time for you to elevate, when it's time for the doors to open, when it's time for those doors to shut, it's going to be in God's timing. And God's timing is always on time. You can pick up your pace, okay? You can continue to run your race. You can go faster. You can slow down. But the thing about it is, at the end of the day, the message that came to me is that you can keep looking at the time. And sometimes we can get to a place where we think if I just do this quicker, if I do this on my own, if I just help God out, then maybe the time will quicken. Maybe I'll get there sooner. Maybe I'll reach that goal sooner. Maybe I'll reach the destiny sooner. Maybe I'll fulfill purpose sooner. But I'm here to tell you, it's all in God's timing. It is all in God's timing. So, what am I expressing to you or encouraging you to be mindful of and reminded of? That you got to trust God's timing. You got to trust his time. Everything works in his time, and his time is always on time. It may not be on your time, and it may not be when you expect it, but it's going to be on time. So pace yourself, seek God, ask him, am I where I'm supposed to be? Am I still on the pace that you want me to be on? Am I on the right path? Ask those questions. Make sure you're in alignment in this season and this time. But most of all, don't tire yourself out trying to do this on your own, because you're going to get there in God's timing. You're going to make it in God's timing. Okay? So hold on. Trust the process. Most of all, trust God and trust his timing. That's the word that I had today, because many times we rush. We rush because that's just what we do, okay? Human beings, we're going to expedite. We want everything quick. We want everything right now. And God is like, okay, you're going to get it, but it's going to be on my time. Okay. The clock is still ticking. The time is still going. And no matter how you expedite your speed, no matter how you expedite your pace, and no matter if you slow it down. Now, the one thing I will say is that you always want to make sure you're within God's timing, meaning wherever God is, I want to be there, right? But I do not want to go before his time, and I don't want to be behind. I don't want to miss it. Okay. So the word is just remember, God has a set time. It's your story, it's your journey, but God has a set time for you to fulfill the mission, the goals, the purpose, for you to go into the next door. And you got to think about this. When it comes to God's timing, he has the right people set up, he has the right position set up, he has the resources set up. If you rush before his time and you on that treadmill and you're trying to run, and you get there before, like, you reach your distance before your time is up, guess what? You still have that time to fulfill. Like, you still have more to do. So now you've just overexerted yourself, your energy and everything, and you weren't prepared for the rest of the time that has to be fulfilled. So what am I saying? Make sure you know it's God's timing, because he has everything already lined up for you in due time, in due season. Okay. So that's all I have for you. Again, thank you for tuning in to Listening Every Day with your host, LA. And today, again, I am wearing Lulu Fit from Lulu Fitness. And I will drop her information down below. But also, don't forget to check my website out at www.lessoneneveryday.com so that you can get a copy of your book, Queen Don't Miss Your Climb. And also check out my books, LJ Wings and Break Down the Wall to Rise Above All, on Amazon. I love you. Until next time, you guys take care. Make sure to remember to wear a smile, share a smile, because your smile just may be the only smile someone sees, maybe the very last smile, or just a smile someone needed today. So learn and live to learn. It's your host, LA, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Everybody.